I remember I would try so hard. I would focus my whole mind onto not procrastinating. I would literally put my whole effort into it. And the moment I slipped up, the moment I didn't think about not procrastinating, I would go back to procrastinating. The moment my mind slipped up and I didn't, with all my energy focused on not doing it, I would go back to doing it. And you might be experiencing the same thing where you want to stop procrastinating, you want to take action, but it feels like the moment you stop thinking about it, your mind just rubber bands back to procrastinating. Like no matter what you do, I remember I would try so hard, and the moment I wake up and I don't immediately think about it, I would open up my iPad and I would go onto YouTube and I would scroll for hours. Not scroll, like watch videos for hours, but it sucked. I didn't want to be that guy who every single day of his life thought about not procrastinating. It's like those drug addicts that are secretly still addicted, like deep down, but they put their whole mind into not going back to no, I can't go back. I can't go back. It's been 2 years. No, no, no. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like a maniac in my own head, resisting the urge to go back to it. I don't want to be that guy. And so the only way I changed it was to make it so that whenever my mind did go on autopilot, whenever my mind wasn't fixated on my goals and what I want to do, it would still work for me. And the way I did that was by changing my self image. I made my conscious mind, so what I actually want, what I think, like my goals, right? And my unconscious, my subconscious, like my deep down brain worked together for me. Like I united them in that sense. I made them so that they're both going towards the same place. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like I'm not saying that I have like two personalities in my head. I'm saying that what I want, my focuses, my goals are backed by my NPC autopilot mode whenever you're not thinking about it. And again, the way I changed it was by my self image. Whenever I changed my self image, it felt like instead of rubber banding back to where I was just going forward without having to convince myself every step of the way. Like, for example, I sat down and made this video. I didn't have to make it, right? I didn't have to convince myself to sit down, it's gonna be hard, but come on, you gotta do it. I just sat down and did it. It's not difficult for me anymore. I just sit down because without even thinking about it, this is just who I am. And that's why your self image is so vital. It's not even that, you just work better whenever you're not thinking about it. Genuinely, this is who I am, and so it's not hard for me to be who I am. And the way I changed my self image was really it's kind of complicated with your self-image because action changes your self-image, but your self-image changes your actions, and both are true, right? So you can't really decide tomorrow that you want a new self-image. Like you could do affirmations and stuff, but truth be told, it doesn't really like do all that much because you could say, "Oh, I'm an athlete," but then you just eat ice cream because you're fat or something. Really, the best way to change it is to change your actions because you can entirely control your actions, right? The more you take action, the more your brain will think of yourself as the person who takes action, right? And so you just be more likely to take action, right? And the same is true if you procrastinate. The more you procrastinate, the more you see yourself as a procrastinator. And it's a downward spiral or an upward spiral depending on how you use it, right? The way I changed it, honestly, the more I took action just on the little things, not on big things that you're not gonna do whenever you're a procrastinator, just little things. I would, you know, water the flowers in the backyard or something. Like, just do something, like wash the dishes. I would read a book. I would just go out for a run or something. It was just little things that I slowly built up over time. And the more and more I took action, just even on the little things, I slowly started to see myself as the person who does take action. And now, right, I can wake up and I can work out without thinking about it. I can sit down and make this video without having to convince myself to do it. It's just powerful because I don't want to be that guy who has to convince himself to do everything. I want to be the guy who just lives life and I'm good. I don't have to convince myself to exercise, for example. I can just do it. And that's why, honestly, I would rather you change your self image and actually make it so that you don't have to think about it instead of, leveling up your discipline and willpower, but you're like a drug addict who has to keeping his mind on the thing. Yeah, I have to keep focused. I have to keep focused. I don't want you to be that guy. And so, if you want more help, I offer coaching in the description.